0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Well, that's it, guys. We are here at the start of the 2024 Aussie Muscle Car Run for Variety SA. In 2024, there was around 32 teams that joined together to take part in the Variety Aussie Muscle Car Run. Each one of these teams had worked hard for the past 12 months, raising as much funds as they could to help kids that need a fair go. And that's what the Variety Aussie Muscle Car Run was all about, was making sure that the hard work that we'd done was returned back to the community.
Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me. Ain't nobody stopping me.
Day one, AMCR 2024. Let's do it. So by mid-morning, it was time for the procession of cars to head off from the Harndorf Primary School. We kicked off the event by handing over a $20,000 grant, helping kids at the Harndorf Primary School, and now it was time for us to hit the road. And let me tell you, there ain't nothing like cruising the highways surrounded by machines like these ones. So with all the cars making their way out through the large Variety archway, it was a small cruise down through the main street of Harndorf before we got a chance to stretch the legs a little on the South Eastern Freeway. Our next stop for the day was going to be down at Kingston in the state southeast for a small show and shine.
Oh, that's real good.
So after a couple of hours of cruising the highway, we made our way down the Limestone Coast, and our first stop of the day was in Kingston. Now, one thing you have to do in Kingston is check out the giant crayfish. From there, we made our way across to the foreshore where the locals had put on a show and shine for us.
Stopping me.
Oh, that's real good.
So after lunch, it was time to jump back into the cars, hit the highway as we made our way down to Mount Gambier for the evening. So one of the coolest things about the Aussie Muscle Car Run is being surrounded by these iconic machines for 7 days. It's like a cruise and coffee and cars that goes on all week. But for now, we had almost 8 hours worth today, so it was time to head into the mount, put our feet up and relax, all set for a big day tomorrow. So not only is the Aussie Muscle Car Run an opportunity to get out and clock up a heap of kilometres in your classic muscle machine whilst raising some money for a great cause, driving along some really wicked roads along the way, it's also an opportunity to get out and take part in some motorsport events such as the Motorcana that was put on this year by the Upper Snowbury Racing Team. And most of us were novices when it comes to the fine art that is taking part in Motorcana racing. Ideally, there's a whole bunch of cones set out on a track before us. We're given a map and told to weave in and out of them. Now, when you've got a few hundred horsepower and some red mist that comes over the eyes, well, you can imagine some of the boys were going out to have some fun. Now, at this type of motor racing event, it's also a chance for the co-drivers to get behind the wheel and to have a bit of fun. But of course, as the primary car owner and driver, you also get to stay in the passenger seat just to keep tabs on what they're getting up to. I mean, who would think that anything silly would go on an event like the Aussie Muscle Car Run? How often do you get to see iconic Bathurst machines such as GTHOs and VL Walkinshaw Group A's being taken out and driven in anger? By mid-afternoon, most of the crews had just about had enough. We knew that we had a long way to go and it was only early on in the piece on the Aussie Muscle Car Run. So with one more run from Darryl in the LX Tirana hatchback, it was time for us to pull up stumps and get ready to head back to Gambier again for the night and take it easy because we have a long haul tomorrow heading down the road.
Stop